Hi, my name is Haley Comet and welcome to my cosmic corner of the internet where we discuss all things astrology. And today, North Node in Aquarius through the houses, unlocking your unique Aquarius North Node in blank house, Leo South Node in blank house, as understanding this sign plus this house will help you unlock your South Node, which indicates past life themes, area of expertise, karma that you're bringing with you into this lifetime, and North Node, which represents a step out of your comfort zone, a step to develop yourself as a soul, a way to lean into where the universe and your chart is supporting you, thereby unlocking opportunities for success and influence. I'm so excited to break this down house by house. I've got my Baby Yoda shirt on today because Aquarius is about the future. It's about innovation. It's about aliens. It's about doing things differently. And if you wouldn't mind, if you gain any value out of this video, if you could drop a like, comment something below, subscribe only if you want to. Those little nudges have been so appreciated as I move through this series, and I truly can't thank you enough. And without further ado, let's talk about the overall Aquarius North Node, Leo South Node karma. So to understand where we're going as depicted by Aquarius North Node, we have to understand where we've been, which is Leo South Node. And do know throughout the course of this video, I am someone who resonates with the idea of past lives, and South Node in astrology, if you believe in karmic astrology, is that indicator. If that's not a concept that resonates with you, no worries. I want you to sub in early in life, okay? But throughout the course of the video, I will be teaching using language regarding past lives. So Leo is the archetype of royalty. They have a very regal energy about them. So it's considered those who incarnate with a Leo South Node had past lives of being very important people. There is an authoritative quality about you. There is a magnetic quality about you. You were someone of influence in past lifetimes. And on its best expression, indicates someone who excels in being very naturally creative and being very naturally comfortable with the spotlight, pretty naturally attracting attention to you. Also someone who is heart-centered, who is passionate about what it is that they do. You have this very heart-centered, at times dramatic way of expressing yourself that makes other people drawn to you, like moths to a flame. Like Leo is ruled by the sun. Sun is in the center of our solar system, and all of the planets are just rotating around it. As a result, past life themes and early in this life themes could be around just naturally charismatic, naturally getting attention, and naturally craving a lot of validation, which sort of brings me to the shadow side of this placement. As I've mentioned, there are past life themes around being someone of high importance, of high prestige, a king, a queen, a leader of some sort. And that's all well and good, but there can be certain themes within this lifetime of feeling better than other people around you, of having a little bit of a prima donna complex at times, like when you inevitably have to deal with inconveniences, being like, oh, how could this be happening to me? And I'm not shading you. It's okay to have these certain tendencies. There just could be a feeling like, I am so above all this, because in past lives, you didn't really have to deal with a lot of these like annoying life inconveniences, but you came here with this mission to learn about humanity and to be interwoven into collective themes. And so part of stepping into your Aquarius North Node is sort of stepping out of this I'm better than you complex, that the trap that Leo South Nodes can fall into at times is feeling like I'm too good for this. But with Aquarius North Node, you are here to study how to become more interwoven with humanity and to focus on the commonality that we all share. Because with Leo South Node in past lifetimes, you know, you were special and you're still special, don't get me wrong, but there can be a feeling around, how is this happening to me? I don't deserve this. I shouldn't have to work. I shouldn't have to deal with these sort of things. I shouldn't have to share credit. I want this to be about me, because in past lifetimes it was about you. And we want to appreciate your Leo South Node. So we want to appreciate your creativity. We want to appreciate your generosity. We want to appreciate your warmness that you bring into every situation. We want to appreciate your cheerfulness, your inherent belief in the good in life. These are all beautiful things that your Leo South Node gives you. The shadow side of it is it can give you certain airs of I'm better than you. There can be certain energy around wanting a lot of validation from other people, like not feeling like what you work on is valuable until other people hype you up or until other people see it, or you wanting to prove your worth to other people. At times, this axis can get stuck into some people-pleasing loops because Leo wants to glow and they'll warm you, right? But they want to feel appreciated and validated as a result. So I've seen many Leo South Nodes get stuck in this trap of trying to appeal to people to prove their own worth and specialness, which they have inherently altogether, but sometimes they can just get in this loop of not feeling it until someone else validates them. So in this lifetime, it's really important to not get trapped in that particular loop of trying to prove yourself or even put on a show or like be kind of theatrical or dramatic about it, about being the person that you think your partner wants or you think that the world wants, and feeling disconnected from your true inner essence and your true inner purpose. So that's another loop to get stuck in. Another loop is around not necessarily being humble or being so focused on seeking fame and glory that you can lose opportunities. I've seen this many, many times again, where Leo South Node can be very stubborn and fixed about, no, I need to be at the creme of the creme. I need to be at the top. And if they don't get exactly what they want, they're like, well, I'm not going to go smaller, because they feel like that's demeaning or humbling to some ways. Like, just be mindful of that like inner princess or inner prince within you that is just like huffing and puffing and they don't get, you know, all the glory or the credit that they desire. There can also be a tendency to get in your own way by demanding that you need all of the credit. You need all the eyes on you without empowering, you know, the group that you could be associated with or the beautiful ideas that could be coming through you. Like, trying not to put too much of, this is me and I deserve to be celebrated and appreciated for this art, for this creation, for this art, for whatever it is. And it's not to say that you shouldn't be appreciated, that you shouldn't be validated. Absolutely. Leo South Nodes tend to be very creative, but there is something to be said about being more fixated on how that work will impact other people rather than you demanding all the success and the prestige. Because what's interesting is that in past lives, you got the glory, you got the fame, and so that's energy that feels natural to you, and you can feel like that's what success is. But in this lifetime, intrinsic success and where your soul wants to develop is being a little bit more fixated on how your work, your business, your creations could impact the lives of others, which brings me into your Aquarius North Node, which is the themes that you're meant to lean into in this lifetime. And your North Node is meant to make you uncomfortable. This is a sector that your soul has not traversed before. So it's something that feels foreign. It's something that feels brand new. So with Aquarius North Node, Aquarius is the sign of the collective. It's a sign of humanitarian beliefs and ideals. And it really just is so important in this lifetime to keep your ego out of it. Okay, so when you are fixated on how this will impact the collective, you can move mountains. You could be someone who is very influential. But what's funny is that you go into it with the intention, I want fame, I want glory. Like, you're not going to get what you want. But the second that you're more so fixated on, like, for example, let's say you want to write a book. If you're just picturing yourself on the book jacket and getting all this prestige and being on the New York Times bestseller list, you know, there might be more hindrances in getting to that goal. But as an Aquarius North Node, your manifestations are superpowered when you fixate on picturing the people reading it and their lives being impacted as a result. And intrinsically, it's gonna feel really good when you make shifts for the collective. Another avenue to not get too trapped in is this energy around doing things that other people will validate. Because in Leo South Node, of course, you want this fame, you want this applause, but in Aquarius North Node, you're here to shake things up. You're here to help humanity shift into where we are going. You're here to do things differently. You're here to let your freak flag fly. And when you let your freak flag fly, there's gonna be a bad critique or two, because people don't recognize the future when it's right there, right? Like, Aquarius is a sign of the genius, but also the weirdo, because geniuses are considered weirdos in their time, and so we really value and appreciate their ideas years later. Like, for some reason, this is the energy of what's coming to me. Like, if you just think of Lady Gaga when she first, I don't think she's an Aquarius North Node, this is just an example, around when she first stepped on the scene, you know, it was weird, it was bizarre. It's like, why is she wearing a meat dress? Why is she like bleeding at the VMAs? Like, it's so off the wall. And people were like, what the heck, writing bad critiques. Where you don't want to get caught up, Leo South Node, is reading those critiques and being like, okay, well, now I need to sort of sugarcoat my performances in order for everyone to love me. I need everyone's adoration. With Aquarius North Node, it's about disrupting things. If there's a bad critique or two, that's fine, because your work is reaching the people that it's meant to reach and impacting humanity in this large scale way. And it takes people owning their individuality, being different, and being okay if there's a bad critique or two to shift us into the next paradigm, which is what you are here to do as an Aquarius North Node. And working with groups can be something that is very supportive for you. Working with the collective, working with technology, working with the internet can be really helpful for you. But staying focused on the vision of it all and not so much you as the deliverer, because I'm gonna get a little woo-woo here. But as an Aquarius North Node, you know, a lot of your ideas are sort of like downloaded from source energy or from humanitarian flights. So like trying not to get too caught up with your ego around claiming the ideas that could be downloaded or channeled through you, through your work, okay? Like you will get fame and prestige, but that just can't be your chief and main goal, because you are here to shift into someone who is of the people. Because that brings me into this energy around South Node Leo is like the energy of like a celebrity, right? Who's sort of disconnected from humanity. You know, you can't really just go to a supermarket and just be amongst the people. And that feels like a past life theme. And with Aquarius North Node, it's about shifting into more about being part of the collective, you know, needing less adoration, like look at me, and asking a little bit more questions about the people around you, and really focusing on the central themes that interweave us all, the central energies of humanity that we all have in common. And what you're really gifted in is that you can really hype people up to such a beautiful way. Like Leo is the energy of sunshine, and when you get in your own way via pride, ego, you can get quite competitive. And I really encourage you, if you notice those competitive or jealous feelings coming up, I want you to just counteract it with something nice. So if you see like an Instagram post from your competitor, maybe like dropping a heart emoji or like something nice, or, you know, like counteracting it, because with Aquarius North Node, you're shifting this paradigm where like we can all win. Like your win doesn't constitute my loss. And with Aquarius North Node, it's also this energy around being a little bit more objective about things. Like with Leo South Node, you can get caught in your own way with drama, like feeling like it's the end of the world if something happens. With Aquarius North Node, it's like really staying focused on your big picture goals, on the message that is coming through, on, you know, being a little bit more detached and even keel with things, because Leo is a very heart-centered energy. So it's like you feel your joy so intensely and your sads so intensely, and everything is dramatic. With Aquarius North Node, you're shifting more into being a little bit more even keel, a little bit more relaxed, realizing that every loss doesn't mean that your entire story is a tragedy, that every win doesn't mean that you are untouchable. It's about being part of humanity and sort of not repressing your emotions, but realizing them in the grander scope of things, in the scope of, you know, the humanitarian problems that plague us all. When you look at like global warming and stuff, then, you know, your situationship not working out doesn't seem so bad, right? And I'm not diminishing what it is that you go through. Obviously, you know, everyone's entitled to their emotions, but Aquarius North Node, something you're sort of here to channel is this energy about being a little bit more objective, a little bit more big picture, a little bit more focused on the world at large, rather than just hyper focused on your own issues to a more personal level. So now I'm going to explore this energy through each house. I do have rising signs listed. If it is not the rising sign, but it is the right house, do not worry. I just say rising signs for individuals who might not remember their house placement off the top of their head, or if you utilize whole sign. If you use Placidus, if you're in Aquarius North Node, it could be in the 12th house rather than the first house. So just go by where yours is placed. Disregard rising if it doesn't resonate. And let's dive in. I will start with my potential Aries risings, right? Let it go if you're not an Aries rising, but it is in this house. North Node in Aquarius in the 11th house, South Node in Leo in the 5th house. So you, my friend, do come into this lifetime with a lot of creative sort of ability. And while you are really, you could be a little bit impulsive, you could even be subject to gambling, to living in the moment. Like you really are someone who wants to live and do it big, right? And it could have been in past lifetimes, you know, you were like some sort of like hedonistic creator or something like that, who like lived in the moment, lived very large, maybe gambled, created, and it sort of had this personal level to it. Like your heart was in it, you were excited about it, and yet it didn't really reach the people, and it really just kind of was almost this closed circuit system, in that you created things that got you applause, but it didn't really sway any huge shifts within the world. And with North Node Aquarius in the 11th house, you are here to focus upon huge shifts in the world and sort of leaning more into your hopes and your dreams for tomorrow rather than just the pleasures and the fun for today. You are very much empowered to lean into any sort of group activities. So being surrounded by like-minded individuals who value change and innovation is very important, who believe in a more beautiful tomorrow. So whatever, humanitarian issues feel really personal and like something you really want to work on, I would really encourage you to be surrounded by people who also believe in the same things or who want to work on these areas of life. As a Leo South Node, you do have an authoritative nature about yourself. You could be quite the natural leader. But again, it's about the cause that you're promoting, less so than you getting all the applause and adoration as the leader. And also with North Node 11th house, this is about leaning into friendships. And it's not concealing, your creativity. It's putting your creativity into causes and vessels that can reach a lot more people or do a lot more good within the world. You're encouraged to lean into making friends and making friends who, celebrate change, who acknowledge the weird within themselves, who acknowledge the weird within you, and focusing on the humanity and what we have in common rather than how we are different. You are so good at hyping up the people around you, so you really can be gifted around leading a team, as well as being really in tune with like where trends go, where the future is going, like being even a bit of a trendsetter at times. But I want you to lean into not having to do everything yourself, like lean into teams, lean into delegation, lean into groups, lean into community, lean into people who have the same sort of dreams and ideals for the future, and lean into your dreams for the future, the good you want to create in the world, your legacy that you want to leave. North Node Aquarius in the 10th house, South Node Leo in the 4th house. So this would be my potential Taurus rising. And for you, in past lifetimes, it feels like you sort of lived a little bit of this like kind of insular, heart-centered life. And there's something wrong with being heart-centered. It's actually a very, very beautiful quality, and you are very generous, you are very giving. And with this, you could be someone who's naturally very nurturing to a certain degree. You could feel more comfortable and content with the matters of home. You could really be really connected with your own inner child. You could have a really strong connection to your childhood, your ancestry, your hometown. But for you to ascend to your peak ability in this lifetime, it is essential that you step out in a more public way. And with Leo South Node, there can be feelings of just feeling inherently quite, special. You could have been, a tiny bit maybe spoiled as a child, or just feel like you should get adoration just for being the person that you are. And you should, don't get me wrong. But with this nodal story, there is a certain element around you needing to achieve and work hard to succeed within the public eye, okay? Because with Leo South Node, you really want to be mindful around looking left, looking right, and comparing yourself to people around you. Because again, there's this feeling that goodness and specialness is just intrinsic. It's just part of who people are. So if people are good at something or better at something than you are, you might just feel less than. It can actually bring in some negative energy into your life. Whereas if you focus on the hard work of it all, like, okay, that person might be a better piano player than I am, but maybe if I work towards it, I too can do that. Like, this is bringing me back to that objective energy that I was talking about with North Node Aquarius, looking at your goals from an objective stance and realizing that with hard work, with focusing on the future, you can get to where you want to go. You have a lot of gifts with this nodal story. You have a lot of natural leadership, natural magnetism, and there can be a way of self-sabotaging yourself before you even put yourself out there because you feel like things should be easy or come really like seamless to you. And with Aquarius North Node, it might be, kind of challenging. You might have to lean into groups. You might not get the spotlight right away. And it's okay. Like, let's say you work with other people to make this company, letting go of the attachment of needing your picture by CEO and be more so fixated on the amazing things that you guys are building together. With this particular combination, you can work in some sort of technological field, something in regards to innovation, something that involves leadership, working with teams of some sort, and putting yourself out there, allowing yourself to work towards the future that you want to build for yourself, as well as collectively. Like with North Node 10th house, you are shifting to the very but, and hear me out, this big but But you don't want to be so fixated on, look at me, because that'll actually sabotage your goals. If you fixate on, I'm choosing to go into engineering because I know that I want to impact people's lives in these ways, I want to make a difference in these ways, you're going to be successful, amazingly so. But if you get trapped up in your own ego and needing credit and needing adoration, you might find that that success is harder than it needs to be. My potential Gemini risings, North Node in Aquarius in the 9th house, South Node in Leo in the 3rd house. So for you, there is a certain attachment to the opinions of other people. You could feel like other people need to hype you up or confirm that your idea is a good idea for it to have any value. You can get overly attached with needing to be liked by everyone, by your neighbors, your cousins, and feeling like that's success, right? You could get a little bit attached to the drama around gossip, things of that nature. You could be someone who's naturally quite, logical and doesn't like thinking about the bigger picture things because it makes you feel small and insignificant in the midst of it all, right? So what you're here to lean into is 9th house and Aquarius themes. So one area of this is really being fixated on your big picture belief systems and the big picture of your life that you want to create. With South Node, Leo, 3rd house, you really cannot busy yourself with small opinions from small minds. Like that is going to be a trap for you. Like, this is a strange analogy, but if you think of validation from others as sunshine, I want you to be warm-blooded rather than a lizard in this lifetime. Like, I don't want you to only feel like you are full when other people shine upon you, hyping you up, warming you up so you can go out and live. Like, I want that to be generated within you, like that belief in yourself and that it's bigger than yourself, and just keep going. Because if you get caught up in, well, what if this person likes this idea or this person thinks I should do this, you're going to live your life for other people rather than yourself. And with North Node Aquarius in the 9th house, it does ask you to sort of go on this quest around what in your life brings you meaning and what in your life you would like to sort of change about this world. So you could find with this combination, you could feel really called to work with groups, like spiritual groups, being part of some sort of like coaching program or being around other people who are also fired up about wanting to create change in these high level concepts, right? Like 3rd house is our immediate surroundings. 9th house is travel, it's spirituality, it's higher learning, it's getting ourselves, out in the world to find areas of change and ways that we can innovate into the world. It's really calling for you to find a bigger purpose. So if you feel bored with the drama and the small minds, like I'm really asking you with this combination to be around people who believe that we are active creators in this lifetime and that there's bigger, issues or bigger dream that we could be, excited about rather than just being fixated on, did Brad sleep with Minnie and stuff like that, and small gossip like that. Like, I don't want you to be too focused on these small ideas and gossip, because you're here with 9th house energy to contemplate big ideas and find meaning. And you could do that through working with groups, working with communities around these themes. 9th house is also travel, so maybe traveling with groups of individuals. You could also find it through higher education, getting your master's, maybe even being a professor, and really being more so fixated on your students rather than look at me, eyes on me, aren't I a great professor? Being more so fixated on, are they receiving this wisdom? Are they receiving this knowledge that I'm sharing? And it sort of takes you sinking into that objective energy of Aquarius, remember it's an air sign, about learning more about what fires you up, working with communities who also are passionate about, enacting change in a myriad of ways or in spirituality, and sharing that information as you go, really leaning into this life as a sage. My Cancer risings, North Node in Aquarius in the 8th house, South Node in Leo in the 2nd house. So for you, your pride can absolutely get in the way when it comes to being a breadwinner or being an earner. There can be an attachment to, I am worthy because I make this much money, or I am worthy because I have these nice things. There could be a very bougie sense of style within this, and it's considered, but this, this particular combination, you could have been someone in a past life who's very, very wealthy and very attached to material goods, and it does feel like an attachment to earning them yourself. With North Node and Aquarius in the 8th house, there is this emphasis around letting people help you. This is not a DIY lifetime, okay? It is okay to receive support from other people, whether it is financial support, spiritual support, ideas from other people. There could be an attachment with Leo South Node with having to do the thing that's your idea. Even if other people share with you better ideas, it's okay if other people have better ideas than you. It's okay if you work on something as a group rather than just you. You can actually get in your own way and block a lot of your blessings when you feel like the idea has to come from you. So if a colleague brings up an idea and you're like, no, I don't want to work on that. I'm going to stick to my idea, even though it's not as good. You know, you could have blocked a blessing around being part of that particular group, and maybe they all got a raise or something of that nature. Your pride, especially around money, can get in your way. With North Node 8th house, there might be like certain themes in this lifetime around having to, you know, deal with maybe your spouse makes more than you. I really want you to view financial issues that come up with an objective mindset rather than allowing your emotions to sort of sway your judgment around, I can't believe they earn more than me, that's so not fair, and then feeling like you have to go out to and letting it come from like ego and willfulness and having to earn more. Accept the support that's being offered to you, and that could come from ideas from other people, you know, financial support from other people. This would also be like support that you could receive from parents, alimony, child support, any money that comes to you, as well as people wanting to invest in your idea. I don't want you to be too attached to feeling like your ego is tied up in the way that you make money or how much, you know, how good your bank account looks. It's different in this lifetime. And with North Node Aquarius, you know, this could be asking other people, you know, their opinions when it comes to your finances, things of that nature. And you just really need to get out of your ego of feeling you have to do it all yourself. Like, this is a lifetime where you are here to be supported by other people. And the reason that is because it feels like in past lifetimes you were really, really caught up in pride and ego, especially in money. So you're just like making tons of money, eyes were on you, and you didn't really get to explore any deeper area of life than that. And this lifetime is about freeing up your time from being so fixated on money matters to be able to dive into deeper aspects in life that you want to sort of dive into. My potential Leo risings, North Node in Aquarius in the 7th house, South Node in Leo in the 1st house. Okay, so it is not all about you in this lifetime, and that's okay. It's okay to receive help from other people. It's okay if other people help you in a particular area. You don't have to be all the things, right? And with South Node Leo in the 1st house, there is this energy around I'm self-sufficient. You have this authoritative, magnetic energy about you, and it might be hard for you to open up to people. And it's an interesting combination because Leo, as I've mentioned, is very heart-centered energy. It's a very romantic energy, and you can kind of get interwoven into relationships too quickly and sort of be less interested when the high wears off, whereas North Node in Aquarius is about sort of leaning into relationships a little bit more slowly, maybe starting off as friends and letting something build because your long-term goals are in alignment. You guys see the future in the same way, sort of allowing things to develop slowly rather than coming on all hot and heavy and then being like, okay, well now I'm over it, right? Like allowing things to arise organically, allowing, you know, a friendship to blossom. And with South Node Leo in the 1st house, there's a certain pride attachment to perhaps how you look or perhaps your identity. And to, you know, enter any sort of partnership in life, you know, there is a certain risk that you're taking. And it's not that you fear risk with South Node Leo. Actually, you can take too many risks at times. You can definitely put it all on the line. But there is this energy around, I don't want to be caught out there slipping or like looking dumb. So I don't want to necessarily partner with anyone who could tarnish my image or bring me down or bring me away from my goals. Like there is energy, like all the shine, all the spotlight needs to be on me. What if I'm with someone and they get more attention than I do, seen better than I do? With North Node Aquarius, I really want you to lean into partnerships in all its formats. A lot of your, you know, blessings in life will come via partnerships and partnering with other people, whether it is clients and being more so focused on, okay, what is the good of all the people rather than look at me, I'm getting all these clients. Aren't I a great realtor? Being really focused on, you know, I want these people to find their dream home. Home is just, 7th house doesn't have anything to do with homes. That's just an example on clients and being more so focused on, you know, the client's appreciation and the good you're doing out in the world rather than look at me, I'm a realtor, I am so great. As well as with North Node Aquarius, you could create really beautiful things in partnerships. And it just reminds me of the energy around when there's like an amazing, podcast, or there's amazing media, and then inevitably when it's successful, egos get really big, and then they go solo, and it's not the same magic that they would co-create. There is a magic when we come together to fuse creative ideas and to fuse creative energy, and you can self-sabotage yourself when you fear partnerships or when you fear the other person outshining you. I want you to be focused on the good that project is putting out in the world. If it's a relationship, I want you to be focused on the value that relationship holds for both of you and for the relationship as a unit, and sort of allowing your ego and your pride to step out of the way, because a lot of your blessings will come through partnerships. You can even get like ideas from partners, and I don't want you to feel like something has to be, come from me in order to be valuable. This is the lifetime where the universe will send you people who are here to help you. As well as embracing any sort of non-conventional partnership or relationship. Aquarius is very much the energy of let your freak flag fly. And, with South Node Leo, they could feel like they have to do things, the normal way in order to get all the adoration and the praise that they deserve. With Aquarius North Node, getting comfortable with who cares what they say. This is, not hurting anyone. This is a great partnership. Your relationship doesn't look like other people, and that's okay. Who cares about the judgment of other people? My Virgo risings, North Node Aquarius in the 6th house, South Node Leo in the 12th house. So for you, what I want you to be cognizant of is your tendency to wait in the shadows and think that life happens to you rather than going out and making it happen for you. So with South Node Leo in the 12th house is the energy of escapism and things that we hide from. And with South Node Leo, there can be this energy around your pride can keep you prisoned from going out and making new opportunities happen for yourself. Like there can be a feeling like you want to be a singer and you feel like, record labels will just find you. Like you don't want to put yourself out there. There's this inherent feeling of specialness that could keep you blocked from diving into opportunities that could really be quite powerful for you. There could be energy of solitude, of feeling like I'm so special, I don't want to share my glow with anyone, I just want to stay trapped away in it. And with North Node Aquarius, it's really about being interwoven into humanity, right? And 6th house is all of the really human energy of being a human, right? 6th house is energy of stuff that we do every single day. So it's like cleaning, errands, chores, work, small animals, daily routine. And it's like that's where the life stuff is. And like I said at the beginning, with a Leo South Node, there can be certain energies of I'm too good for this, I'm better than this. But with North Node Aquarius, you're sort of here to study what it's like to be a human. And you could find you're sort of here to study what it's like to be a human. And for you to sort of give to the collective and to help us, transition into the next area of life, it is asking you to be of service. And that could take, humbling yourself at times. And I'm not, coming for y'all, but there is this energy around stepping off the throne and being amongst the people, so certain avenues of work could be, in the healthcare field, something such as healing or just any service orientation. And with North Node Aquarius, it really is believing in a more beautiful tomorrow. It's leaning into the energy of change, innovation to allow us to transition. I want you to embrace, if you do feel called to work in something avant-garde or unconventional, such as astrology or such as, something new age, anything of the light could be something, so long as you're helping people, that's all that matters. The opinions of others doesn't keep you matter. And this energy around caring so much what other people think and needing your image to be in a certain way is going to keep you in prison from opportunities. Like it takes you going out there, working hard, not getting too caught up in pride, in competition, in jealousy, and staying focused on the good of humanity and perhaps shifting the good of humanity into a different way, infusing innovation into the work that you do. As well as having a daily routine can be really supportive and not, avoiding life stuff. This is about diving right into life stuff. And you can connect with a lot of people via, clients and via your work and things of that nature. And I really want you to lean into, the similarities that you guys share rather than pointing out your differences. As I've mentioned with South Node Leo, there can be a little bit of prima donna syndrome at times. With North Node Aquarius, it's realizing, when you're at work and you're a barista and you connect with so many people, there's so many similarities that you see no matter where everyone's going for work, what walks of life. You can just connect to the human aspect of it all, and that's what threads us together, and that's what you're sort of here to lean into and to embrace. Also, health, leaning into new health innovations that you can make within your life, being a little bit proactive about your health goals that you want for yourself. My potential Libra risings, North Node in Aquarius in the 5th house, South Node in Leo in the 11th house. So for you, it does feel like you were a leader, all eyes on you, and you needed to be adored by people to feel like what you were doing was worthy and worthwhile. And in this lifetime, it is a people-based lifetime, don't get me wrong, it is Aquarius North Node, but I want you to work on what you like and what lights you up. Like, it definitely feels like in a past lifetime, there was this energy around scrambling up to the top of the ladder and then realizing it was placed on the wrong wall, right? You just wanted the applause and the adoration of everyone else. 11th house is also humanitarian goals, so it could have been in a past lifetime, you know, you were a leader, you were a champion for these humanitarian goals, and that's not wrong per se, because Aquarius also has humanitarian themes, but I really want you to sink into the present moment. Like, it is a fun assignment when you have North Node in 5th house, because 5th house is fun. It's creativity. It's what just genuinely lights us up as a human being. And with, you know, Aquarius North Node in the 5th house, it could be about leaning into creativity, even if it's avant-garde, unconventional, other people don't get it. You know, don't be focused on the people who don't get it. Focus on the people who do and the good you're doing out in the world. Like, maybe you have some sort of, like, you know, performance art that some people are like, what the heck is that? But it's something that's heart-centered. And then being focused on the people who are like, wow, that really did something for me. Because North Node Aquarius is about being able to embrace your freak flag or what's weird, eccentric, or different about you. And we embrace our weird. We free the people around us to embrace their weird as well. And when you really tap into your most authentic self-expression and let go of the opinions and the validation from others, you really can create some really future-forward, beautiful, creative, innovative art that I want you to lean into, as well as leaning into your inner child, what's fun. It feels like in karmic lifetimes, a lot of the work that you did, you know, was about or for other people. And it's not to say that shouldn't be a priority now, because it is North Node Aquarius, but I want you to focus on living like in the moment, anchoring down into your senses, letting go of any like guilt or anything like that. Like, North Node 5th house is about what lights us up, what brings us into the present moment. My Scorpio risings, North Node in Aquarius in the 4th house, South Node in Leo in the 10th house. So, oh my goodness, you definitely were someone of prominence in past lifetimes with this combination. You were a king, you were a queen, you were a celebrity, you were a debutante, you were the belle of the ball. And you could feel like something needs everyone's eyeballs on it to feel valid. And it's sort of a switch in this lifetime, because you're learning that for something to be valid, it needs to be something that emotionally resonates with you. So I found many times people with this particular nodal story can get overly caught up in what will bring fame and glory, and it eludes them, interestingly. But as soon as they draw more into what they personally feel drawn to do, how they personally want to impact humanity, then fame and glory finds them. Like, with the Leo South Node, it's so fascinating, because if you do things because you want your name out there, you will not get famous. But the second you do things because you want this work out there, like, it's more, you're a little bit more detached from it, you're just like, this message is more important than just me getting the spotlight, then fame and glory will sometimes catch up. It's an interesting parallel, but for you particular with this combination, you cannot get caught up in, you know, trying to get all the fame, all the glory, all of the attention, because you'll feel really disconnected from self and it'll continue to elude you. With North Node 4th house, I want you to prioritize the life that you want to live. 4th house is emotional state, it is home, it is family. So I want you to question to a foundational level, what is it that you want or that you need or that you desire in order to be happy, and then co-create a life in accordance to that. Do you want to live in the forest? Do you want to have a family? And then thinking of career as what fits into that, into your baseline emotional needs and desires, even if it's something that's avant-garde or that other people don't resonate with. Like sometimes South Node Leo 10th house, they can get caught up in, the approval of like their family or their parents and being pushed, you need to be a lawyer, With North Node Aquarius, it's leaning into change. With 4th house, it's leaning into happiness, being open to the changes that will ensure your happiness to a soul foundational level. You might have certain unconventional ideas around home, around family. Maybe that's what fires you up in the work that you want to get out there, is something about new ideas around family or something of that nature. Maybe you have an unconventional approach around family. Maybe you want to have 10 kids or you want to have no kids. There is an energy with North Node Aquarius about leaning into the part of yourself that might be a little bit of like the black sheep sort of energy, or just different or unconventional, and knowing that it's okay. You don't need the adoration of every single person. In fact, that's going to water down your message quite a bit. With North Node Aquarius, it also could be, working with communities within your hometown of some sort, or working with fellow moms, fellow fathers, fellow people within family units. You could also be some sort of realtor of sorts, as 4th house is home, properties, things of that nature. And if you are a realtor, I want you to focus less on loving to see your face on like billboards, like buy a house from me, and more on seeing happy people in their homes, right? With North Node Aquarius, the universe supports you when you are fixated on the good that this work can do the people, and less so on the attention and adoration it can get from you as a person. My potential Sagittarius risings: North Node in Aquarius in the 3rd house, South Node in Leo in the 9th house. So for you, there is this energy around you were like some sort of like spiritual leader of sorts. And if you think about a preacher, they're a little bit removed from the congregation, right? They're up on their little altar and they preach down, and they're not so interwoven into the people, right? There's this clear power dynamic. And as I mentioned with Leo South Node, there can be certain energy of feeling like you are better than other people. And with the 9th house, you could feel better than other people spiritually. You could feel better than other people wisdom-like. And there can be this energy around, I don't want to listen to anyone. No one has as good ideas as me. I know what I'm talking about. I have all the answers. But with North Node Aquarius in the 3rd house, where you're being pushed is really leaning into your curiosity in this lifetime, leaning into communication with other people. You can find that you are a brilliant hyper-upper. That's not a word, but you're very brilliant in spotlighting what makes other people special. But it comes via communication, focusing on the similarities between the two of you, less like, I'm so this and they're so that. With North Node Aquarius, it's about feeling more connected with humanity through conversation, where North Node is not where we're most comfortable. So sometimes with North Node 3rd house, there can be some shyness present. They don't necessarily thrive off the back and forth of dialogue, but you are encouraged, because not only can you transmit some beautiful messages that make people feel really seen and really special, you can also receive new ideas that you hadn't considered before and can be really helpful for your pathway forward. You could lean into the ideas of the groups that you were associated with, the communities, and be like, that's such a great idea, even though it didn't come from you. The good that these ideas do out in the world is more important than the person that it came from, okay? So I don't want you to get so caught up in needing all of the fame and all of the glory that you sabotage getting the needed work out into the world. Because with North Node Aquarius in the 3rd house, you could like work with a group of people like on a podcast or on a blog or on something that has to do with messaging, on like some sort of teaching cohort, something of the like. And if you need all the fame, all the glory, it sort of brings you into that Leo South Node, whereas Aquarius North Node is about empowering and helping community, working with other people, being open to people's ideas, and not letting your pride and your ego get in the way and block you from community, as well as just being interwoven and looking at every person as an opportunity to learn. Like with Leo South Node, we don't know it all. You do have a lot of spiritual wisdom, and a lot of it could come through in conversation. Like you could download sort of naturally at times. It really takes merging to that person's energy, realizing what's special about them, what you guys have in common, for that information to come through. And you can really be a warming, empowering leader, but it needs to be more about the people that you're trying to do good for and less about you as the deliverer of that particular message. My potential Capricorn risings: North Node in Aquarius in the 2nd house, South Node in Leo in the 8th house. So with this combination, it seems that you could have been someone who is, taken care of, right, in a past lifetime. And it could have been taken care of by a wealthy spouse. You could have been taken care of by your royal kingdom, your highness. But there was an energy that other people would meet your needs, and that you just needed to be your own self, be your own dramatic, fun self, and everything would be taken care of for you. With North Node 2nd house, this is a lifetime about making money. okay? And it's not so much like materialism or anything like that, but it's more so about the journey that happens when you make money. And for you, when you solve problems of humanity and have that value reciprocated. Because with North Node Aquarius, you could work with technology to make money, you could work with groups to make money, you could work with solving problems for humanity or helping us move into, the future. You could be an inventor, you could be a coder, you could work with technology, things of that nature. But it's really important that you don't feel like that energy around everything should be handed to you, because with North Node second house, it is about earning your own income and the journey that happens on that path, because second house is self-esteem. And it's not that you necessarily have self-esteem problems. You're Leo South Node, so typically they do bring this energy or this aura of confidence, but it's more so like grounded self-esteem, if that makes sense. Because with South Node Leo, there can be, and in the 8th house, which is merged energy, there can be this feeling that you're only special if someone else validates that for you. Whereas North Node second house is like, it's about like, creating or making or innovating things and realizing the good that it does out in the world, and just having that intrinsic payoff of like, wow, I'm really making an impact here. And that's more of a intrinsic payoff. That makes you feel good to a soul level, because you're leaning into different skills in this lifetime than you had prior. With North Node Aquarius, this will also be leaning into avant-garde ways to make money, innovating your strategy to make money, because with Leo South Node, you can also get stuck when you feel like, well, this is the way it has to be. With North Node Aquarius, maybe someone gives you a great idea of something that you want to go into, or maybe it's leaning into change and innovation, looking at trends. You can be a brilliant trend forecaster and being like, I really think this is going to be really popular. I'm going to pivot and lean more into that. Also making money with groups, communities, things of the nature, and also just knowing that you can, create change in the world while making income for yourself, and use your creativity to make an impact for the world while earning income for yourself. They don't have to be one and the same. You don't have to be this, saintly humanitarian leader while, starving. You can do good for the world and have that not only intrinsically feel good, but also pad your bank account and make you buy the things that you like and that you desire in this life. My Aquarius risings, North Node and Aquarius in the 1st house, South Node and Leo in the 7th house. So for you, there is this energy around, I'm special because other people tell me that I am, and needing the validation and the approval of the people around you, okay? That's gonna keep you in this loop and in this trap within this lifetime. Because with North Node Aquarius in the 1st house, I want you to feel comfortable breaking the mold around what other people expect from you. I want you to feel comfortable going your own path in life, even if it's not what was expected. I want you to feel comfortable. Being on your own and not needing other people to hype you up, for you to know that you are intrinsically worthwhile. With Leo South Node in the 7th house, you are a brilliant partner. You hype people up, you make them feel warm and sunny, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you can get stuck in this trap of being with people and feeling like that's what makes you valuable, or not wanting to break the mold and go out on your own because, oh my gosh, and then I won't have someone, here to tell me I'm pretty and tell me all of these things, right? With North Node Aquarius, there is this energy about walking kind of an unusual path in life, right? North Node Aquarius is about the weirdo, the genius, the innovator. And with it in the 1st house, it's about a path not necessarily being cut out for you, because it's up for you to create it, to innovate it, to make the path for yourself moving forward. And with Leo South Node, I don't want you to give away all your power by letting other people make your decisions. With North Node Aquarius, you are here to create your future, and that could involve having to make decisions, for yourself. Like if you feel a strong calling that you want to join the Peace Corps, and that would involve, leaving your boyfriend for a while, and they're like, you can't do that, you need to be all about me. I empower you with this access that you stay focused on your goals, how you want to impact humanity, and be willing to go out on your own path or on your own limb in order to make that happen. My Pisces risings, North Node Aquarius in the 12th house, South Node Leo in the 6th house. So for you, there is this energy around perhaps your pride being really attached with the work that you output to a certain degree. Like you can feel like, I am worthy because everyone likes what I work on, and I'm such a good assistant and I do everything that I need to do. Like your pride can get in the way when it comes to the work that you do. You can take criticism very personally, and it can drain a lot of your energy trying to be everything to everyone to a certain degree when it comes to, you know, work and service and things of the like. There can be this reluctance in wanting to hire other people or let people help you because you have this energy around needing to do it all yourself. You also could fill your everyday with all of this stuff, all of this trivia and activities in an effort to, you know, keep yourself feeling confident. Like, look at me, I'm so busy, I'm booked and busy. Like, that means that I'm valuable, that means that I'm worthy. Like, there can be this feeling that when you have downtime, when you're alone, that you're lame or you're a loser. That's just simply not it. Firstly, with North Node 12th house, I want you to lean into solitude. I want you to lean into spirituality. I think with North Node Aquarius in the 12th house, you could be a brilliant channeler for humanity. And for those brilliant insights to come through, it takes quiet time. It takes being okay with, you know, sitting and meditating for those messages to transmit, because you not only can receive really prophetic dreams about the future, but you can also receive really prophetic messages for, you know, individuals. So I want you to trust, you know, your gut and your instincts when it comes to, I think this is going to be, you know, popular. I'm really feeling that this is going to be a trend in the future. I'm really like, I want you to really strengthen your intuition and the messages that come through you. And for a truly, and if you wanted to do this for work, I want you to be more so focused on, you know, the clients that you work with. 12th house is spirituality and these sort of spiritual gifts. So it is considered with North Node 12th house that can be a theme that you lean into. But rather than needing all the fame and the glory, like, look at me, everybody says I'm the best astrologer in town. Everyone says I'm the best tarot reader in town. Really focusing in on, I want you to receive some spiritual healing from this message. I want, you know, my clients to be empowered with this message, as well as being open for these messages to come through you, right? Rather than just from you. Because with Leo South Node, you can get stuck in your own pride of like, I'm so intuitive. With Aquarius North Node, it's like, no, these messages, you know, belong to source energy, belong to universe. So allowing yourself to really keep your vessel very pure for these messages to come through. With North Node 12th house, this would also be encouraging your own healing journey, your own subconscious processing. This would be about being able to do things different, like maybe take a different path in life. Like with Leo South Node 6th house, maybe you thought you wanted to do these more regular jobs, and with Aquarius North Node, it's about breaking the mold, maybe doing something totally different. This is very healing axis with Leo South Node in the 6th house. 6th house is more so like physical hands-on healing, whereas North Node 12th is source more so spiritual healing. And for you to be able to heal and embody other people, because remember with North Node Aquarius, the focus is on humanity, the collective, how you can empower and move us into the next paradigm. For you to be able to embody that and be that, there could be, you know, you need to go through your own healing journey. You need to do this work for yourself. You need to be alone. You need to go through your dark night of the soul. You need to be willing to go through it and to allow yourself to orient to the big picture of it all. Because with Leo South Node, you can get stuck in, you know, dramatic flares of like, oh, this is the end of the world. With Aquarius North Node in the 12th house, you know, you're moving to this role as sort of like the mystic or the sage, or someone who knows that this is all just in the bigger picture of it all, who reorients themselves to the bigger picture of it all. Like, okay, in the big picture of it all, this is just a blip in my story, and I'm just going to keep on going and keep on showing up and keep on doing this for the good of humanity. And there can also be themes with Aquarius in the 12th house around working with groups, working with communities. 12th house is also people who have been imprisoned. It's people who are in mental hospitals. So you can find these are also avenues of spiritual healing. It doesn't necessarily have to be New Age, but with this combination, it feels like it definitely potentially could be. Friends, I would love to know what you thought below. What resonated? What do you love about being Aquarius North Node? What do you dislike about it? Let me know below, friends. My Instagram handle is @HaleyCometAstrology. My TikTok is the same. I would love for you to join me over there. And until we meet again, drink lots of water and stay cosmic.